Hello and welcome to The Inverted Castle, a podcast about Metroidvania games. I'm Thomas Blight, a boy who is tone deaf, with my co-host Eric Fox, a bee that I found in a block.
Sorry, I don't have a Jerry Seinfeld impression on hand, but if I did, being tone deaf, you would not appreciate my fondness for jazz.
Fair. And we're talking about Milon's Secret Castle, a game that was released in 1986 by Hudson Soft. The bee, by the way, is their logo.
And a power-up.
Yeah, and a power-up that gives you a shield. It's actually very useful. I think I failed at picking them up most of the times that I found them.
Indeed, and there's a lot of things this game will direct you into failure for, but regardless, yeah. Milon's Secret Castle, very old game, a proto-Metroidvania in that I guess there is platforming and exploration in a sense, but clearly if there's a similar inspiration, they chased different ideas for this game.
There's progression mechanics.
There are progression mechanics of a sort, yeah.
Yeah.
It's there, but the soul of it isn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not sure if this is just my looking at old games and being frustrated and being unable to really engage with them on their terms, perhaps. I'm, Gen Alpha. What can I say?
What? Suddenly assigned yourself a new generation?
Shut up. They don't know.
What are you like? What is the oldest Gen Alpha? Are they like 12?
Yeah, I'm 12 years old, and what is this?
The oldest ones are 16.
Okay, I'm 16, and what is this?
Yeah, I mean, Milon's Secret Castle is... Geez, how do you explain it? You're a kid who, for some reason, can shoot bubbles.
Oh, do you want the backstory?
You're exploring a castle, and, I don't know, you gotta get through monsters, find umbrellas. Those are helpful. They help you shoot bubbles.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
And make your way to save the princess. Sorry, you said, do you want the backstory? Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so the manual helpfully describes Milon, who, in this land of Hudson, very creative, people use music to communicate. However, Milon does not have the ability to communicate. This doesn't matter, because for reasons outside of that, a warlord from the north invades Hudson and traps Queen Eliza in the secret castle. And so Milon takes it up to save her with the help of a magician that gives him the bubble to assist him in finding helpful items and money. That's it.
Yeah, great.
It has this whole thing about not being able to communicate and music being important. And then it's just like, but forget all that.
You know what the manual doesn't tell you?
What is that, Tom?
How to play this game at all. I looked.
It will describe that you need to find the key in puzzle rooms, and that if you hold up on the and hit the bubble button, the bubble goes slightly diagonally up. Otherwise, it always goes slightly diagonally down, but never straight across, which is not the most frustrating thing, but...
I think mine was actually opposite. Mine always was trying to go up, and I had to press down to go down.
According to the manual and my memory.
Yeah, but it's just like if I was neutral.
Oh, wait.
My controller always seemed to interpret that as me pressing up. I don't know if that's my controller doing weird things or...
No, I misread it. This manual is great. Down and B to shoot bubble downwards. Regardless. Never straight across, and the hit detection on the bubble colliding with the blocks that it then transforms into nothing or money or a honeycomb or a bee. Not always the best. Sometimes it'll just go right through the block and you have to make sure you hit it like on the side for it to count, or basically like directly on the edge. But corners, nah. This is a game from 1986. They didn't have robust collision detection.
It gets a little better when your bubbles get bigger later on, but Yeah.
Okay, and when does that happen, Tom?
One of the bosses. I don't remember which one. It's like the fifth.
See, in my memory, it was buying the sword.
I mean, the sword does change your bubbles, but they got bigger from one of the boss's crystals.
Fair enough. I did not notice.
They have a bunch of random effects, which are pretty subtle.
Gotcha. But yeah, this is a game about going into rooms in a castle, blowing up everything, and trying to find enough money to buy items. And I think it's like if you destroy enough of the room, the key will be able to generate. And the key lets you leave the room. Sometimes you're able to push blocks, but sometimes you're not. And the game doesn't explain that you can push on a block. And when you do, it doesn't make a door appear. It makes you able to shoot a bubble at where the door would appear to make it appear.
I'm sensing some frustration.
Oh, my frustration began even before that.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because the block pushing is mostly an early game thing. And then, like, it happens, like, one time near the very end after that. But until you figured that out,
yeah,
it was just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I thought I soft-locked myself. And I was like, you know what? It's an old game. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But no, it turns out you just need to rub up on something.
Yeah, you have to intuit that out of 3 blocks, you can destroy 2 of them, one on either side, and push the middle one. And the manual does not tell you. I looked through it. I had to look up a long play of just like, okay, well, how is this game supposed to be played? And then I saw that, and I said, I was trying to play it legitimately. I looked up the manual and nothing else and thought, I'm just going to engage the game on its own terms. And even before that moment, I knew I was in for some problems because of how the acceleration on Milon just moving felt so bad so immediately. I don't know if you had the same issue as me.
It's not... I don't know. It's a little weird. It makes me think of Mario 3, except there is no run button.
There's no run button, and there's no gradual acceleration. It's like you're a bit slow, and then you're a bit faster. But in order to get to that amount of speed, it just takes a bit too long for precision platforming or like trying to get enough speed on a single block, which you'll often find yourself in when you're trying to like climb the paths you've kind of just knocked out for yourself.
Yeah.
I found also versus the bosses, it's all the same boss, basically, just harder every time. When it's shooting out its projectiles.
Yeah, it's a real Birdo situation.
Oh, my kingdom for a Birdo. Birdos are consistent, and they shoot things directly, like, across. These are, like, randomly arcing shots that, because of the range of your own bubble, you always have to be in range of them in order to hit the boss, basically. And because you can't predict if it's going to be a high shot, low shot, quick across, or like down, a lot of rewind was used in order to get through some of these early bosses before I, had the requisite gear, mostly the Excalibur, to make it just take half as long, and the blimp, so I could just kind of float in a vaguely safer position.
Yeah, I abused the hell out of save states.
Oh, hell yeah. Although, in this game's defense, there is a continue system.
It's true, there is.
If you're to die, I think it's like hold left and start, which is detailed in the manual. It's like a gift from the developers to us, it's described as, basically. And it lets you just start over, like you're at the bottom of the castle usually, or the beginning of whatever room you're in. It's not hard to get back to where you were regardless. Pretty forgiving, but annoying when you can die so quickly, if you're not farming health and bees.
Oh yeah, the health is honeycomb, too.
Yeah, honeycomb to extend your life, bees to shield you.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Like, I think half of this game's signifiers make some sense, and then the other half is just random, like, word generator. Because honeycomb, okay, that's a food, it's sweet, makes sense with the bees. The Y gives you a shield, I have no idea. Buying the shoes lets you use the jump platforms, great. Buying the saw that lets you open the windows, that's a bit weirder, but I can see the mechanics. But then the umbrella that makes your bubbles shoot faster?
Yeah.
There's kind of like no A to B. The medicine that makes the boxing glove make you shrink. If the guy didn't say the gloves will make you shrink.
Yeah, I think it's a potion?
Yeah, I've got the full item list here. They call it medicine on strategywiki.org. I don't know if that's official. But yeah, there are a bunch of items. Some of them you buy, some of them you just get from defeating boss or finding the room. A lot of them are just, you're allowed to progress. The hammer or the saw, they let you open doors, essentially. The hammer is just a blank wall, but then some things like the vest, which protects you from fire, but not fully, lets you explore a room that's on fire. Great.
Yeah.
And then others are like the Excalibur or the super shoes or the blimp, which aren't necessary to beat the game, but you'd want to get anyway. The game doesn't need any like extra challenge. The only problem is you might not have enough money to buy them, because I think there's a finite amount of cash in the game.
Oh, no, there's unlimited.
Oh, yeah? How?
There is one level that you can just go through, and it will regenerate money every time.
Interesting.
So you can just rinse, repeat. It's the one with the fireplace.
Oh, okay, that one.
Because I grinded that level until I could buy all of them.
I just went ahead and beat the game after getting Excalibur. I don't think I ever bought the super shoes or paint.
Oh, man, how did you do things?
There's this room where when you fire your bubble, it makes platforms appear instead of disappear, except they're invisible if you don't have the paint. You could also just blindly jump and spam and eventually make it. Ask me how I know. Listen, I didn't know the paint existed at that point. Like, I was only looking stuff up when I was lost. And I'm like, well, this is technically doable. And I had bought whatever the thing is that lets you kill fire enemies. So I was able to complete that section anyway.
Yeah, it's a strange game. And honestly, half of the hints I did not understand.
Well, half of the hints are useless too. Like, one is crystals are powerful, which is just the MacGuffin that lets you beat the game. Or you need to have a saw. Doesn't tell you what it actually unlocks.
Yeah.
But like, what's one that you didn't understand?
There is only one Maharito?
So that is a reference to the fact that the final boss is Maharito, I believe.
Yeah.
There are 4 identical rooms, except they have different colors. Only one of them is real. And so if you get up there and are fighting a fake Maharito, he turns into a crow. And then like, well, I guess I need to fight my way to the next final boss.
Yeah, well, I was the luckiest jackass in the world, and the first one I chose to fight was the right one.
Boy, same. I also was a one and done. Climbed the first room. Once I figured out I could actually climb, it wasn't just running left and right to find the actual final engagement. It was all just copy-pasted rooms. And thankfully at that point, was powerful enough to just kind of face tank it for the most part, except we haven't mentioned this yet, but another classic of old games is that there are no invincibility frames on getting hit.
Yeah.
So you will just get comboed into oblivion if you're not at least trying to survive.
It's true.
This was mostly relevant during the latter mini bosses, I guess. The other boss enemies that aren't Maharito, that just keep spewing out fire, they can absolutely two-shot you if you go in there half-cocked.
They're a lot easier with the super shoes and the blimp, by the way.
Yeah, I only had the blimp and already was feeling the difference.
You can hang out at the top of your arc shooting them and then kind of retreat. And there's a very small window where they can hit you.
Yeah. But you do want to go in with max umbrellas, obviously. It's the same as any game. You want to have as many umbrellas as you can.
Of course.
You can just farm enemies. They'll respawn pretty quickly, which is usually annoying, but that's also how you get health back if you don't want to spend money in the shops.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time grinding in the first world.
Yeah, I think in the first world I was just kind of eating restarts. I think I spent the most amount of time just bashing my head up against a wall because I was still trying to play the game fairly and was just going through the same couple of rooms over and over again, spamming the bubble everywhere because I didn't understand you could push blocks yet.
Oh, yeah.
I know I need to interact with this thing to jump higher. And I got the medicine that makes you shrink when you get punched by Muhammad Ali. So I could figure that out. And why shrinking is good, because you're then only 1 block high and can get into like crevices you're not usually able to fit in. But man, it's a game that I found little joy in the act of playing. Unlike, say, others of its, I guess, console, like Legacy of the Wizard, or even Spelunker. I had to remind myself, looking at our stack rank, of like, where am I going to put this thing? And I was wondering why Spelunker was not at the bottom, and then I reminded myself that, it had some heat. It had some interesting ideas that at least somewhat cohered. This one was like, we had some sprites lying around, and here's a castle full of them.
I mean, it made me think a lot about Legacy of the Wizard, right? Like, they're kind of similar. Obviously, Legacy of the Wizard went for a much bigger maze and different characters with different abilities.
Yeah, I think the breadth of Legacy of the Wizard and its gameplay felt better to do for me. Of course, it's been years since I even engaged with its platforming, but in my memory, I don't recall being nearly as frustrated from the jump as I was in this one. I think the gameplay mechanics were more interesting, a greater slew of items, each character having their own bespoke style. There's a variety to it, right?
Yeah.
And I think it just executed on it a bit better, even though I think boss encounter design was probably still pretty rough.
Yes. I mean, at least Legacy of the Wizard had interesting different bosses, although you could screw yourself over if you did them in an order that put your weakest character against one of the strongest bosses, like I did.
Yeah, if you don't do Pochi, the pacifist dog, the first time through, you might have a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem with this one, at least. I don't know.
I mean, Milon is Pochi in human form. He sucks at everything. His bubble never goes where I want it to. He doesn't so much have acceleration as 2 speeds of unacceptable, and I'm never able to actually get to it because of all the finicky platforming.
Fair.
But I can see some appeal in this is a explore 'em up, like every room is different, and I can see that they offer different challenges for getting around enemies. Some of them have like disappearing blocks under you, so you have to like make sure you're aware of your path downward because it's impossible to go back up. Rooms are designed to be repeated, as that one gold farming room is.
Yeah.
The idea of like seeing the well in the backyard and going in there, and as long as you have the lantern, suddenly you're in ghost hell and it's on fire, and there's a boss at the end of it too, and when you beat the boss you're still in fire hell. But if you defeat one enemy, it drops a unique power-up, which all it does is bring you out of the well.
Yeah, I beat that boss with 1 health.
I'll bet.
And I saved in a different save state slot. And I was like, I'm not sure, because that took me a couple tries already, I'm not sure I can do better against that boss. So I might have to just reload the save, fight very carefully until I get one of the balloons. I don't know. It was a mess getting out of that.
Yeah, it is also a game where you can really get yourself into a mess. And at the time, given the dearth of information in the manual, I can't imagine someone like beating this game would be a sense of accomplishment at that time. It is a testament to just intuiting arcane game design and what items do what even at times. It is a game that is finishable, but why?
Yeah.
It's a game that I find very little charm in for me personally, but maybe I'm getting too young for these old games.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest disappointment was I got the canteen, which I now realize that one of the hints I didn't understand was referring to it, because it was a water pot in an icy room, I think was the hint. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that means nothing.
I went back to the well, all the way through the fiery room, which honestly was much easier once I had the upgrades, right?
Yeah, I bet.
I went and fought that fire, thinking that something would happen.
No.
It doesn't. Nothing happens.
No, the canteen lets you fight a different fire beast as well as the crows, which seems weird, but in the actual game, they're like fire demons. They're just called crows. And it is necessary to get the items to unlock the final boss. But
yeah.
There's also a hint on pushing against a fireplace, if I recall correctly, which I got before the hellfire room in the well. And I thought, oh, well, I got pressed up against something in here. Didn't find anything because there's an actual fireplace that looks like later, which all it does is, oh, there's a block you have to push. Remember that mechanic? We haven't seen it in an entire floor at least. You have to fight a boss and then go through a puzzle room. It's great. It's a game that, at the very least, had ideas. And in 1986, that actually does count for quite a bit. I just didn't like any of them.
Yeah, there was actually 2 hints about the fireplace. So I guess they felt that they needed to tell you.
Yeah.
They spelled that one out pretty clearly, because there's both push for 4 seconds on the fireplace and a room below the fireplace.
Yeah. I needed push for 4 seconds on any block it might do something hint. I might have been able to beat the game from that only.
Which is gotta be the worst version of check every block. Is, okay, check every block and also rub up against it for at least 4 seconds.
There are remarkably few blocks that don't just get destroyed in its defense. Like, you're really just destroying the foundation of this place for money.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of neat to kind of just dig your way out of a wall of single bricks, but I don't know.
Depends how many umbrellas do you have.
It might take a while. But I think we have enough umbrellas to stop raining on this parade and maybe actually come to some sort of conclusion about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know if you have any lingering points to make on this ultimately kind of simple game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's classic Nintendo hard. I definitely got frustrated with the first 2 rooms and needed to figure out how to find the store where you can buy the shoes, because you had to push on blocks. But honestly, from there, it was more straightforward.
Yeah, it's a game that isn't hard. Like, the playing of the game, the action of it, you have quite a bit of health. You can get health upgrades in the B. Like, you can make it so that you're not dying constantly. It is screwing the unscrutable. And once you get past that, it's not a long game either, because it's on the NES, but it's at the very least designed around being completed. They gave you hints. That's in-game hints. Crazy. They're just bad and...
Yeah. We didn't talk about the music boxes.
Oh, yeah. It's a bonus game for money, but it does tie in the whole this is a land of musical instruments thing.
Although for some reason, it's just picking up sharp notes are good, picking up regular notes are good, picking up flats is bad.
Yes. I don't remember if the manual said that or not. If you don't notice that when you hit the flat notes, your score goes down. You might not get as much money, but that's all that they're there for. Is it's a weirdly long mini game of running back and forth as notes fly at you from beneath.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a thing to do. It wasn't particularly, like, again, this is when the weird acceleration thing of trying to get to the notes, I just felt like I was fighting the controls a little bit, but...
Fair.
It's hard to explain. It never felt good to do the actions of the game. Unlike, say, a Mario, which is, I think, more well-tuned to the challenges it presents.
Yeah. And, like, I kind of feel like it's this weird, less refined Mario Metroid combination.
I can see that.
Where, like, I felt the wall searching at least kind of made me think of Metroid. Right.
Yeah, Metroid is less about destructibility, but you're definitely just like shooting, bombing, running against walls. Most of them don't have anything. This one, at the very least, most of them do blow up. Excellent job there, Hudson. I don't know. Yeah, it's a game that did not win me over as much as, say, Spelunker, which definitely did more than it deserved. But on that note, hey, Tom, compared to your third worst game, Spelunker, how did Milon Secret Castle shake up in our stack rank? For those following along, we of course have a link in our description as always. I know where I'm putting mine.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted to put it above Spelunker. I don't think I can reasonably put it above anything else, because the next one is Banjo-Tooie, and Banjo-Tooie has some frustrating busy work, but it's definitely not this.
Yeah, it's even arguable which one counts as a Metroidvania more. I don't think Tooie was going for it. This one, at the very least, could theoretically be a prototype, but...
Why not? I'm gonna put it above Spelunker, and maybe we'll regret that, but...
Regret it how?
They're about the same level to me. What is going to make me regret that? You, maybe.
No, I can't, in good conscience, say, like, oh yeah, no, Spelunker 2 slapped, like, it owned bones. It was the best best game on the NES. No, even I had it. Even I looked at it, having forgotten our episode, being like, the hell is Spelunker 2 doing so high?
I mean, so high. Where did you put it?
Above Metroid for the NES.
Oh, man. Yeah, you did put it high.
Yeah. It's still at 50.
See, mine, there's just so little to go down, because it's the third last one. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Milon's and Spelunker, they're probably actually pretty even there.
In my brain, I know that's correct, but because of because I've played Brain Breaker, it no longer functions correctly, but I won't do anything too crazy. And Milon Secret Castle will be going below Banjo-Tooie, much like you, above Brain Breaker as my new third worst game at number 55.
This is a ringing endorsement for Banjo-Tooie. Better than Milon's Secret Castle.
Yes, and I think context is important because we are, after all, a Metroidvania enthusiast podcast. So Banjo-Tooie in those terms could never really compete. But I think that's enough said about Milon Secret Castle. And instead, we should set our sights not too far forward. I don't want to immediately go back to just playing the latest game that came out on Steam, but we will go a little way forward with Shantae, Risky's Revenge, the second Shantae game.
Whoa.
Initially released for the DSi, but then Director's Cut re-released for basically every console on the planet. Not sure about PS5 or whatever, but at the very least it's on the Switch and Steam, so that's all I care about. Apparently it's quite good, and it's been a while since we got Genie with it, so...
Is this Director's Cut similar enough?
I think it's just a re-release taking off of the DSi platform.
Okay.
Like, it's basically the way we will be playing it.
Oh, okay.
Is
That's
the re-release.
Fair.
You know, it's the Game of the Year edition, whatever. Like, it's the same game, but maybe there's some extra goodies.
Yeah, I guess, what are we supposed to... How do we even take this out? Usually you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, follow, subscribe, ring bell. This isn't... No.
Listen, if you know how we take things out, please make sure to leave a comment on our YouTube page. Send an email to invertedcastlepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter/X @invertedcastleph, never forget the P, and various other social media platforms. I would like to shout out Colleen Fraser for the use of her composition, String Quartet No. 1, as performed by Duos Duet. But that's gonna be it for us.
Yep.
I've been Eric Fox.
And I've been Thomas Blight.
And remember, kids, don't trust the adults. Video games were never good.